All right, Evil Dead Car Lighting Controller mod install. First, talk about the Evil Dead Car by Magic Chiz. An awesome modification. It really completes the game. This add-on mod to his mod just adds a controller to the LED lights so they react to the GI lighting. Right now, just showing it in its original setup with the lights on all the time. And then at the end, we'll show, after the mod install, we'll show how the mod makes the car lights react to the GI lights. Okay, the lighting controller. So this stuff is what will be shipped with the controller. Start with the controller itself in the mount. So the controller is going to have 3 connections. One for the car, which is going to come with a plugged-in extension that converts it from this female plastic to the male plastic. Just going to include that already connected just to differentiate it from the power. So we had 3 connections here: the car, sensor in the middle, and then the power at the top, which will come from the coin door. So also going to come with 3-wire sensor wire. The sensor itself, which gets installed underneath the left sling plastic with a little piece of double-sided tape. 36-inch extension, so that will run from this car connection from the circuit board to the car, and then some wire ties to tie stuff up neat. Then we can talk about the tools. Really not much needed here. Just 3 nut drivers or wrenches, whatever you want to use. 11/32, 5/16, and 1/4 inch, and then just some cutters to cut the wire ties. Now we're just going to show how the car should have been originally installed before the controller. So inside the coin door, you have the light that was installed with the adapter connection that was connected to the wire, running all the way back. Some were supplied in one continuous length, some were supplied in 2 separate extensions. Mine had the 2 separate extensions, but it runs all the way back to this connection right here, which is the last connection to the car. Going for the installation. First, shut off the machine, right? We don't want to do electrical work while the machine's on, so that's step number 1. Step number 2 is propped up the play field in this kind of position, pulled it out on the supports. I pulled it out as far as I can, so it's not resting on anything below the play field. Wanted to get it out as far as it could, but not have it hit anything that the supports don't protect it from. Before you pull it out, make sure you have your side arc protectors on. Never want to lift one of these play fields without those, or you could end up damaging your side arc. So first step is to disconnect the power from the coin door to the car. We want to do that at the connection that is closest to the car, because we're going to run from there using the supplied 36-inch wire, run that to the new circuit board. So going to start by breaking this farthest connection in. It's actually easier to reach if you lift the play field all the way up. I really don't want to go through that, removing the balls and everything, so I can just reach in here, disconnect this connection here, and insert the 36-inch extension. Be careful when you're removing the connections. Pull on the plastic, don't pull on the wires themselves. Well, once you separate the wire, what's coming from the car, the plastic part is female, so we're going to insert the male plastic into that with the extension. And we're going to take that extension and just run it underneath the play field for now, and we'll just let it hang here, waiting to connect it to the circuit board. So doing that, we only need a 36-inch wire to run from the car to where the circuit board is going to be mounted. what we'll be left with is roughly 6 foot long cord from the coin door that's going to run also to the circuit board. But that will provide enough room so when the play field is fully stood up, there's enough wire to do that. So again, this is the wire coming from the coin door power. We're just going to also run that up here and leave that hang over waiting for the circuit board. I'll just close that coin door for now. All right, next step is to we'll connect the wires to the circuit board. So again, leaving it shipped with this adapter cable for the car makes it easy. This female plastic part connects to the male plastic part of that connection that was shipped with the circuit board. Now, this cable here I made up, later cables purchased, so the new ones will be also black and red like the rest of the extension. All right, connect that there. This other wire that came from the coin door, that's the power. It goes into the power connection. A little tight to the fuse there, but it goes in. And then sensor wire is the 3-wire connection in the middle. These only go in one way, so can't get them backwards there. All right, so that's what we're left with there. Now we're going to take our 1/4 inch nut driver and go to this here, which is the inlane light board here. That was original to the machine. So this 1/4 inch screw here, we're going to take this out. And then just insert that back through this here. Put that back in. Make sure your circuit board, the light board didn't move there, so you get back in the same hole and just screw it back. Now I wouldn't crank down on this super tough, just enough to make it snug there. And that's it. So that's really it for mounting the circuit board. The last thing to do is we got to get our sensor wire plugged in. And this is the 3-wire for the sensor that we're going to mount on the top side of the play field underneath the left sling. So we're going to take this 3 wires and run it up through the lower switch hole for the left sling here. So there's lots of room in the back of that switch without affecting the switch. Right now we're just going to kind of put it up in there and leave it there for now. Now we're on the top side of the play field, so we can put in our light sensor. What we got to do is remove the nut for the ramp, remove all 9 of these nuts for the left sling plastic, and then remove this plastic. I've already loosened them all up, so I'm going to take all these off, take the plastic. We're just going to lift the ramp up. We don't have to remove it. Just want to lift it up enough to get the plastic out, and then we'll talk about putting the light sensor in. Okay, I got all 10 nuts off here. Just going to finish up by taking these washers off. Just move this ramp up a little bit and start to work this plastic up. It's kind of tight on the studs that are sticking out, so just kind of want to work it around. Don't want to jack it all the way up on one side and end up cracking it. Okay, so I want to make sure I don't lose that washer there, and then just lift it off here and set this aside. Okay, get it from this angle here. So we're looking at the left sling here. You see the lower switch and the little wire that we got stuck in there. I'll go back underneath, find that wire and just push it up a little bit so I can grab it. All right. So I'll hold on to that and then take the sensor And these wires are keyed, so just plug that in there. Remove your double-sided tape, and then take it. Let me point out the sensor here. So, sensors on this side. Made this mounting plastic with a little shroud. Got the initial feedback that other outside light was affecting. This was picking up outside light, so we made it with a little shroud. So you just want to point that right up against the GI light here that's underneath the sling. So just take it, kind of work the wires down there a little, and then stick it right up against the light, right like that. Just want to make sure the wires aren't pressing up against the lower switch leaf there. That's the stationary one, stationary leaf. Just want to make sure it's not pressing up against there. And you still got a gap in between your wires there. So that's it. That's the mounting. And then we'll reverse what we just did and put the plastic back on. Alright, plastic's going back on. Lift the ramp up a little bit. Get all your plastic holes lined up. Again, this plastic's pretty tight, so got to go down a little bit at a time all the way around. And then don't forget your washer underneath the ramp, and the rubber washer, metal washer on top of the ramp. And then you can put the nuts back on. Make sure to adjust the ramp in the right centered in that lane. Put all the nuts back on. Don't have to go down super tight, just snug them up, and we'll go back around to the bottom side. Back underneath, just showing the board again, everything connected up here. This is to the car, this was for the sensor, this was the power from the coin door. We're just going to grab those three and run a wire tie around here just to tighten them up, and also in case they get pulled, make sure they don't get pulled. It doesn't pull out the circuit board connection. And this also helps to keep the wire away from the switch there. So I'll include a couple more wire ties. I won't go into tying this up all the way, but you can get the idea. If you want to clean it up, maybe next time I have this standing up, I'll tighten up the wire from the car to the circuit board a little bit more. Right now, it's kind of got it hanging there. But again, I'll include some wire ties so you can do that. That's pretty much it. So we'll turn it on. So we got our mod installed here. I got the machine fired up. Of course, it takes a minute or two to do that. So now showing the car again, you can see it, the lights reacting a little bit to the GI as it changes intensity and color here. But in a minute here it'll start flashing, and you'll be able to see the controller make it react. So there it is. So I think it really helps out in the times when the game modes go dark, especially like cabin multi-ball, where the whole play field goes dark. Now the car won't be lit up during those times. The whole thing will be dark, and just kind of helps the atmosphere of the game. So hope that install video works well for you. Definitely reach out to me on Pinside if you have any questions or comments or any feedback about the mod.